Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something that affects millions of people around the world, something that can make simple tasks feel like climbing a mountain: arthritis. If you're living with joint pain, stiffness, and inflammation, you know how frustrating it can be. It feels like your own body is working against you, and you've probably heard all sorts of advice, tried different remedies, and maybe you're just tired of looking for a solution that actually works. Well, what if I told you that some of the most powerful tools in the fight against arthritis aren't found in a pill bottle, but in the grocery aisle? Today, we're diving deep into 3 incredible plant-based foods that are scientifically shown to help reduce inflammation, soothe joint pain, and give your body the building blocks it needs to feel stronger and more mobile. These aren't complicated, expensive superfoods. They're simple, affordable, and incredibly effective. So grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's talk about how you can start eating your way to better joint health, starting with our first powerhouse, lentils. Let's talk about lentils. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Lentils. They're probably not the most exciting food that comes to mind. They don't have a flashy marketing campaign, you won't see them trending on social media food pages, and they don't come in fancy, colorful packaging. They're just lentils. But if you are someone who is navigating the daily challenges of arthritis, or if you have a loved one who is, this simple, humble little legume might just become your new best friend. Seriously, because hidden inside these tiny discs is an incredible amount of power when it comes to calming inflammation, reducing that nagging joint pain, and giving your body the specific nutrients it's craving to feel better. And the best part? They are ridiculously cheap. You can find them in any grocery store, and you don't need to be a professional chef to make them taste amazing. So, what is it about lentils? What makes them such a secret weapon for arthritis relief? Let's break it down, starting with the basics. Protein. Your body is constantly building and repairing itself, and protein is the essential raw material it uses. This is especially true for the muscles that surround and support your joints. Think of your muscles as your body's natural shock absorbers. The stronger they are, the less stress and strain is placed directly on your knees, your hips, and your hands. But here's where things get a little tricky for people with arthritis. A lot of the common go-to protein sources like red meat or processed meats can actually have the opposite effect. They can crank up the inflammation in your body. That is the absolute last thing you want when your joints already feel swollen, stiff, or achy. Lentils, on the other hand, are a game changer. They provide you with all of that high-quality protein your body needs, but without fueling the fire of inflammation. It's a clean, plant-based protein that works with your body, not against it, helping you build strength while simultaneously calming things down. But the benefits of lentils go way, way beyond just protein. They are also absolutely packed with magnesium. And this is a really big one. Magnesium is one of those crucial minerals that a huge number of people, especially older adults, just aren't getting enough of. But it plays a massive role in how your body manages pain and inflammation. Think of magnesium as your body's natural muscle relaxer. It helps to soothe that persistent tightness and tension in the muscles around your aching joints. It can reduce stiffness and, in some cases, even help calm down nerve pain. If you've ever had one of those mornings where your joints feel completely locked up and no amount of stretching seems to help, a lack of magnesium might be part of the problem. Lentils provide a fantastic natural source to help replenish your body's supply. Then there's potassium. This is another mineral that most people don't immediately connect with arthritis, but trust me, it's more important than you might realize. Potassium has a fascinating relationship with sodium in your body. It helps your system flush out excess sodium. And where does that excess sodium come from? Usually from processed foods, canned soups, and fast food. Too much sodium leads to water retention, which means bloating, and, you guessed it, it, even more swelling and puffiness in your joints. If your fingers or knees feel tight and swollen, that could be a contributing factor. By getting enough potassium from foods like lentils, you're helping your body restore its natural balance, flush out that extra salt, and bring down the swelling. Less swelling almost always means less pain. It really is that simple. Lentils also bring a serious amount of fiber to the table. You might be wondering, what on earth does fiber have to do with my arthritis? Well, it turns out quite a lot. Unstable blood sugar is a hidden trigger for inflammation. When you eat meals that are high in sugar or refined carbohydrates, your blood sugar spikes dramatically. Your body responds to this spike by releasing a cascade of inflammatory chemicals. For someone with arthritis, this means more joint pain, more stiffness, and just more overall discomfort. But fiber is your best defense against this. It slows down how quickly your body absorbs sugar from your food, which helps keep your blood sugar levels nice and stable throughout the day. When you eat fiber-rich foods like lentils, you're not just getting steady, reliable energy, you're actively protecting your joints from those painful inflammatory flare-ups. Oh, and we can't forget about folate, which you might also know as vitamin B9. Folate doesn't get a lot of headlines, but it plays a critical role in lowering a compound in your blood called homocysteine. Now, you don't need to remember the name, just know this. When homocysteine levels get too high, scientific studies have linked it to increased inflammation and more severe joint damage in people with arthritis. The good news? Lentils are absolutely loaded with folate. Eating them regularly is a simple, natural way to help keep those homocysteine levels in a healthy range. It's one of those small, behind-the-scenes changes that can make a huge cumulative difference over time. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that all sounds great, but how do I actually eat lentils? The fantastic answer is however you want. Lentils are incredibly versatile and so easy to work with, even if you're not someone who loves spending a lot of time in the kitchen. You can toss them into a soup or a stew, where they'll break down a bit and add a wonderful hearty texture. You can make a simple lentil curry with some garlic, onion, and spices like turmeric and cumin. You can even cook them, let them cool, and then add them to a salad with chopped vegetables, a little feta cheese, and a lemon olive oil vinaigrette. If you're trying to eat less meat, lentils are a perfect substitute in tacos, sloppy joes, or even homemade veggie burgers. They have a brilliant ability to absorb flavor, so you can season them to match any cuisine you're in the mood for. And here's something else to love. Unlike many other beans, most types of lentils don't require soaking overnight. This makes them a perfect choice for a quick and healthy weeknight meal. Just give them a good rinse, put them in a pot with water or broth, bring it to a boil, then let them simmer for about 20 to 30 minutes. That's it, they're done. And they're usually very gentle on the digestive system, so you don't have to worry about feeling bloated or heavy afterwards. When you start incorporating these simple foods into your life, remember that small, consistent changes are what add up. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Just start by adding lentils to your meals a few times a week. It is such a low-cost, high-impact step you can take towards feeling better. The next time you're at the grocery store, don't just walk past that aisle. Pick up a bag of lentils. Try them in a new recipe. Pay attention to how your body responds, because when it comes to managing arthritis naturally, lentils are a true heavyweight champion. They're not just filling you up, they are actively working to nourish your joints, reduce inflammation, and give you the strength to keep moving. Okay, let's move on to our second food. Let's talk about one of the most underestimated yet incredibly versatile foods when it comes to fighting arthritis, the chickpea. You might know them as garbanzo beans, or as the star ingredient in hummus, or maybe just as those round little things you find in a salad bar. But I'm here to tell you that chickpeas are so much more than a simple topping or a side dish. These little legumes are an absolute gold mine of nutrients that can help reduce inflammation, ease that chronic joint pain, and support your overall health in a way that feels both simple and sustainable. Honestly, once you truly understand what chickpeas can do for your body, especially if you're struggling with the daily grind of arthritis, you will never look at them the same way again. So let's start with what makes chickpeas so incredibly effective. Just like lentils, chickpeas are a fantastic source of plant-based protein. And if you're making a conscious effort to stay away from red meat, whether it's because of the saturated fat or its well-known inflammatory properties, chickpeas are an ideal alternative. The protein in chickpeas helps your body repair and maintain muscle mass. This is so important, especially as we get older or if joint pain is making us less active. Remember, stronger muscles provide better support for your joints, acting like a natural brace that reduces strain and pressure. Less pressure ultimately means less pain. With chickpeas, you're getting that crucial support in a clean, plant-powered form that won't trigger more inflammation. But what really makes chickpeas stand out is their incredible richness in something called polyphenols. I know that word sounds a bit scientific and complicated, but the concept is very simple. Polyphenols are natural compounds that act as powerful antioxidants in your body. Think of them as your body's personal cleanup crew. They go around fighting off the damage caused by unstable molecules called free radicals, which can harm your cells and are a major trigger for chronic inflammation. If you have arthritis, your body is in a constant state of what's called oxidative stress. This stress makes your symptoms worse and contributes to joint damage over time. That's where chickpeas come in. Their polyphenols get to work neutralizing those free radicals, protecting your cells, calming down the inflammatory response, and giving your body a much-needed internal defense system. It's like giving your joints a protective shield with every meal. But the magic doesn't stop there. Chickpeas are also a great source of vitamin C. We often think of oranges when we hear vitamin C, but chickpeas pack a nice punch too. And vitamin C is absolutely essential for something that everyone with joint issues needs to think about: collagen production. Collagen is the main structural protein that makes up your cartilage, the smooth, rubbery connective tissue that cushions your joints and allows them to move without friction. It's like the lubricant in a door hinge. Without enough of it, the hinge starts to grind and creak. That's what happens in our joints. They become stiff, creaky, and sore. When you get enough vitamin C from foods like chickpeas, you're giving your body the key ingredient it needs to keep producing the collagen necessary for smooth, pain-free movement. You're not just masking the symptoms, you're helping your body rebuild and maintain its joint structures from the inside out. And yes, just like our friend the lentil, chickpeas are loaded with magnesium. I can't stress enough how important this mineral is for joint health. Magnesium helps relax muscles, which takes a huge load off your joints. It helps calm the nervous system, which can lower your perception of pain. And it supports bone strength, which is the very foundation of your skeletal system. When your muscles are constantly tight and overworked from compensating for sore joints, magnesium helps release that tension and brings a natural sense of ease back to your body. It even helps improve sleep quality, which can be a real struggle for anyone living with chronic pain. A well-rested body is a body that can heal. Of course, we can't talk about chickpeas without celebrating their amazing fiber content. As we discussed, fiber is essential for balancing your blood sugar levels. When you eat refined carbs or sugary foods, your blood sugar spikes and your body's inflammatory response goes into overdrive. Chickpeas, being naturally high in both soluble and insoluble fiber, slow everything down. They ensure that sugar is absorbed slowly and steadily into your bloodstream, preventing those inflammatory spikes and keeping your joints happier. Plus, all that fiber is fantastic for your gut health, and a healthy gut microbiome is directly linked to lower levels of systemic inflammation throughout your entire body. Now for the fun part. Chickpeas are one of the most versatile ingredients you can have in your pantry. Of course, hummus is a classic. It's creamy, delicious, and a perfect dip for fresh vegetables. But don't stop there. Try rinsing and drying a can of chickpeas, tossing them with a little olive oil and your favorite spices like smoked paprika, garlic powder, and a pinch of cayenne, and roasting them in the oven until they're crispy. They make an incredibly satisfying, crunchy snack that's way healthier than potato chips. You can toss them straight from the can into salads for a boost of protein and fiber. Add them to soups and stews to make them more filling. Stir-fry them with colorful veggies and a dash of turmeric, another powerful anti-inflammatory spice. Chickpeas are also the perfect base for hearty curries and fit beautifully into grain bowls with quinoa, spinach, and avocado. Their flavor is mild and nutty, so they take on the taste of whatever seasonings or sauces you pair them with. So how often should you eat chickpeas? Try working them into your meals a few times a week to start. Your joints will thank you for the steady stream of anti-inflammatory nutrients. Your digestive system will love the fiber, and your energy levels will feel more stable and balanced. Foods like chickpeas remind us that healing and relief don't always come from the pharmacy. Sometimes it comes from something as simple, ancient, and powerful as a handful of legumes. All right, let's move on to the final member of our plant-powered, joint-soothing trio. And trust me, this one might surprise you. We're talking about tofu. Yep, tofu. I know, for some people, tofu has a bit of a reputation. Some people love it, while others are a little intimidated by it, or aren't quite sure what to do with that white block in the water. But if you are living with arthritis, I want you to reconsider everything you think you know about it. Tofu might just become one of the most important foods you can add to your diet. It's not fancy, it's not flashy, but it is absolutely packed with the kind of nutrients that help soothe inflammation, protect your joints, and support your body in a way that truly matters. So, why tofu? First and foremost, tofu is made from soybeans, which are one of the very few plant-based foods that qualify as a complete protein. What does that mean? It means tofu contains all 9 of the essential amino acids your body cannot produce on its own. These are the fundamental building blocks your body needs to repair tissues. Your joints, your muscles, your bones, they all depend on a steady supply of high-quality protein to stay strong and functional. As we've discussed, when your muscles are healthy and supported, they can better carry your body's load so your joints don't have to bear all the stress. Tofu provides that top-tier protein in a gentle, anti-inflammatory package that many animal products simply can't match. But the real magic of tofu goes way beyond just protein. Let's talk about omega-3 fatty acids. You've probably heard that these healthy fats, found in things like salmon, are great for your heart and for your brain. Well, they are also absolutely incredible for your joint health. Omega-3s work directly to reduce the production of inflammatory chemicals in your body. Think of them as natural inflammation firefighters. But many people think you can only get a meaningful amount of omega-3s from fish. Tofu is actually one of the very few plant-based sources of a type of omega-3 called ALA. So, if you're eating a plant-based diet or you're simply trying to avoid seafood, tofu is a fantastic way to get those anti-inflammatory benefits. And that's not all. Tofu is also an excellent source of calcium. You already know calcium is key for keeping your bones strong, but this is especially critical if you have arthritis. The condition doesn't just affect your cartilage, it affects your entire musculoskeletal system. When your bones are strong and dense, your whole skeletal frame is more stable and balanced, which helps take pressure off of your joints. Tofu provides a reliable, dairy-free source of calcium, making it a perfect option if you're lactose intolerant, or if you find that dairy products tend to trigger your inflammation. Now, here's where tofu really starts to shine. Many brands of tofu are fortified with vitamin D, which works hand in hand with calcium. Vitamin D is essential for your body to properly absorb and use the calcium you eat. But vitamin D's job doesn't stop there. It also plays a direct role in regulating your immune system and controlling inflammation. A huge portion of the population, especially older adults and those who live in colder climates, are low in vitamin D without even knowing it. This deficiency can make arthritis symptoms feel much worse. So getting that extra dose from your tofu is a smart, simple move you can feel great about. But we're not done yet. There's another special group of nutrients in tofu that deserve a spotlight: isoflavones. These are natural plant compounds found in soy that have antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. Research has shown that isoflavones can help reduce inflammation markers in the body, which can lead to improved joint flexibility and lower pain levels for people with arthritis. Some studies that have looked at populations that eat soy regularly found they tend to report better joint function and less stiffness, particularly in cases of rheumatoid arthritis. It's not a magic cure, but it is one more powerful way that tofu can support your body's natural ability to heal. Now the big question: how do I actually cook tofu? Isn't it bland? That's a fair question. On its own, fresh out of the package, tofu doesn't have a strong flavor, but that is its greatest strength. It's like a blank canvas. Tofu is brilliant at absorbing the flavors of whatever you cook it with: garlic, ginger, soy sauce, barbecue sauce, lemon juice, you name it. The ways you can prepare it are endless. You can stir-fry it, bake it until it's crispy, grill it, or pan-sear it. If you're new to tofu, my best advice is to start with a block of extra firm tofu. The most important step is to press the water out of it first. You can use a tofu press or simply wrap the block in paper towels and put something heavy on top of it for about 30 minutes. This step is crucial because it allows the tofu to soak up your marinade and get a much better texture when you cook it. Once it's pressed, cut it into cubes or slices and let it marinate for at least an hour. Then you can throw it into a veggie stir-fry, a curry, or just bake it on a sheet pan until the edges are golden brown and crispy. You can add these crispy tofu bites to salads instead of croutons, or toss them in a wrap for a satisfying lunch. If you prefer a smoother texture, try silken tofu. It's soft and creamy and works beautifully in smoothies, blended into soups to make them creamy, or even used to make dairy-free desserts like chocolate mousse or pudding. You can blend it into sauces or dips and you won't even know it's there, but you'll still be getting all of that protein and anti-inflammatory goodness. And just like lentils and chickpeas, tofu is affordable and easy to find in almost any grocery store. If you're comfortable with soy, try including it in your diet a couple of times a week. Pair it with other anti-inflammatory foods like turmeric and leafy greens, and you'll be giving your body a full spectrum of healing nutrients. So let's do a quick wrap-up. If you're dealing with the daily aches and stiffness of arthritis, remember these 3 plant-based powerhouses: lentils, chickpeas, and tofu. They are loaded with the protein, fiber, vitamins, and minerals your body needs to fight inflammation, protect your joints, and help you feel better naturally. You don't need to search for expensive supplements or follow complicated diets. You can find real relief with simple, everyday foods that support your body from the inside out. Try adding just one of them to your meals this week and pay attention to how your joints feel. Remember, small, consistent changes are what lead to big results. If you found this video helpful, please do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel reach more people who might need to hear this message. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on our future videos. I would love to hear from you, so please drop a comment below. Let me know if you already use these foods or if you have a favorite recipe you'd like to share. Thanks so much for watching, stay well, and I'll see you in the next one.